guys, today's video is a very quick one about someone very polarizing, and it's polarizing for me, polarizing for everyone, but I'm gonna talk about it. Recently, as you guys know, Gabby Hanna's been going through a bit of a situation.
So I'm off for a week because of bullying and harassment of Angelica Oles. I checked it out. There's no bullying and harassment as it comes to YouTube's TOS. We don't make fun of her intrinsic traits. We don't even prolong our insults that we did make, like dummy, stupid, can't make a point. That doesn't make sense. That's what me and Jeff did. It never got into her looks. We didn't throw any Polish racial slurs her way or anything like that. We criticized harsh criticisms of her silliness, the fact that she didn't make sense, and we asked the question if she was violating YouTube terms. Not that we wanted her to get struck or anything like that, because of the sheer amount of videos. So, if you didn't know, I just got a major W against Angelica Oles. My video went down yesterday on her, which was strange, out of nowhere. Cyberbullying and harassment of Angelica Oles. So I said Angelica or one of her fans report me, community guideline strike. Angelica decides to, because she's so smart, stick her nose into it, and she sends me a picture of her copyright strike, Bryn, not her. No, not that she used community guideline strikes. Saying, look, I must be the dumbest man on the internet because, look, I didn't copyright strike you. Well, I would have known if you copyright strike me. You have to send me legal paperwork by YouTube. And she knows I know that. So, I got a little suspicious. So I said, thanks for proving me right. You are the dumbest woman on YouTube. You showed me copyright. I said it was community guideline. She goes, oh, you must have served. You must have broke TOS then. You must have said slurs. That got me thinking. First of all, the strike was for cyberbullying and harassment. Since he was the topic, it must have been her. So I do entire podcasts, and I cover multiple topics, and I take calls. And somebody said a slur. It wasn't me. It wasn't directed towards her, and it wasn't a segment that had anything to do with her.
Let's introduce two people for this drama. The first is Tommy C. Now, Tommy C is a very down-to-earth, calm individual who would never ever dare to have a nuclear take on anything. If you're hearing this and you think I've had a stroke at this moment, congrats, because Tommy is definitely not that. But that's why I love Tommy. I get that he's portraying a character on screen and it's a bit of an act, but at least it feels more genuine than most of those plastic positivity turtles. You know the kind, all fake and are all for love and kindness, then they have like 50 videos harassing a single individual. So, to me, that is a fake plastic person. Speaking of plastic, however, introducing Angelica Oles. I'm sorry, wrong picture. This is Angelica Oles. A giant, life-size, walking, talking Barbie doll. Not really making a physical observation or anything like that. I'm just saying she has the IQ of a Barbie doll, and that's where the classification is. She covers anywhere from makeup to T-channel drama. And obviously, I don't give a fuck about her makeup. A while back, she covered Gabby Hanna, and if you look at her channel, it got to the point where it was more than likely breaking YouTube's TOS for making video after video after video on Gabby. And lads, come closer here. She's still making videos on Gabby! These range anywhere from 3 months ago to 4 years ago, and she churns them out video after video like some kind of deranged obsession. I'm guessing she thinks these are fine to continue to make, even though it seems, according to YouTube TOS, this would be more than likely a violation to the harassment and bullying policy. I guess Gabby Hanna doesn't count because she's a bad person, you guys. I'm not defending Gabby, by the way. I'm sure there are things that you can be critical about, but if you're making over 50 videos on someone, you think maybe there'd be something new to talk about? But no, there really isn't. It's just the same Gabby bad, all over and over and over again. Ugh. So let's talk about the current drama Angelica Oles is involved in, and that's the fact that Tommy's video on her, the dumbest woman on the internet, got taken out. It was an old video, I believe about 6 months ago, criticizing Angelica Oles for having dumb takes. Tommy had received a community guideline strike, something he's made very apparent on Twitter. He stated either Angelica, or more than likely one of her fans, struck the video down. Angelica fires back and says, "Nuh-uh! Here's my DMCA history. You're not as big as you think you are because I don't even know who you are." Paraphrasing, but in effect, that's what she's saying. Tommy replies back and specifies it was a community guideline strike, not a DMCA strike. And to give you a general understanding on why these two are different, one is a strike for violating YouTube's policies. The other is a strike for violating copyright or DMCA law. That's when Angelica choked on Tommy's massive cock, realized the errors of her ways, and took the fucking L. And if you believe that, I've got a bridge to sell you, because of course that's not what she did. Of course not! A fucking course not! Seriously, people, can you people just for 1 second take an L? Fuck! So, instead, she fired back and stated it's more than likely that, well, Tommy had slurs on his video, and that's the reason YouTube took it down. This leaves many, including myself, to believe she actually watched the video in question. In a sense, tipping her hat. And more importantly, self-exposing herself. I say this because how would she know that there were slurs in the video? And yes, as a matter of fact, there were slurs in the video in question. However, the slurs were not, in fact, directed at her, nor were the slurs said by Tommy or his co-host. And it was all done in a call-in by one of the fans of the show. And they wanted to do it more or less for shock value.
So, all that goes on. I listened to the video. There is one thing at the end, but it doesn't have anything to do with Angelica Oles. And this is a word we probably aren't going to say anymore. We had Seth, who was a Jewish girl from Denmark. She came on and she said, "I want to say something racist and terrible." I said, "Go ahead." And she didn't call anybody this name. She just said it over and over again at the very end. She started doing the K slur. I don't think that's any different than a black guy saying my N-word. I got to be honest with you. It was a joke. The context was it had no context, and it was just a ridiculous thing to say. It wasn't a segment about Angelica Oles. We weren't calling Angelica Oles the K word. It's the only slur on there that could possibly be tripped up. And I got to be honest with you, I have removed the stream just for that reason, because I was pretty sure that Angelica Oles, when she found out that we got her stream back up, she was going to go right back at it.
After this back and forth, Tommy eventually gets his video brought back up and says to Angelica that YouTube agrees with him, to which she then blocks him. It's important to note, however, that this is the second time Angelica blocked Tommy. Let's do a little rewind and review here. Angelica stated she didn't know who Tommy was, that he's bigger than he thinks he is, yet Tommy never tagged her in the tweet that he made, and she was blocked by him at the time. This is yet another piece of circumstantial evidence, mind you, to bring to the table to make me suspect that she had something to do with Tommy's video going down and getting a community guideline strike. This is because of the rather fast response to a tweet that, well, Tommy didn't even tag her in the first place. And of course, she was blocking him at the time. So how could she know that, well, Tommy's video went down? Why did she respond so fast? Thus, elementary, my dear Watson! Sorry, I just got a little carried away. I'm really into these detective-style dramas a little bit. Let's flip the other side of this coin, however, as I enjoy being skeptical and torpedoing my own arguments. Not to mention, I prefer to give my audience a chance to form their own opinion, so, well, let's argue against everything I have just said. The reason is simple. It's not as cut and dry as one would think. There is plausible deniability here, as, well, Angelica is really fucking stupid. Like, you could put a rock next to her and you couldn't tell the difference, okay? Just saying. Apparently, doing baseline research or reading comprehension isn't her strongest suit here. All these things she has said up to this point isn't beyond a shadow of a doubt proof that she struck Tommy. Usually it would take a number of people to strike a single video down. It could also be because of the updated TOS rules YouTube put up, which is messing around with a number of content creators right now. So, there you go, Angie. Being dumb as a post actually is a positive for once. It gives you benefit of doubt. You must be so proud. Secondly, her saying she doesn't know who Tommy is could be seen more of an insult rather than, well, an actuality. Like, who does this guy think he is kind of thing, rather than, I have no clue who you are. I've never had any interaction with this guy whatsoever. Obviously, she knows who Tommy is because she's blocked him once before. She's obviously, more than likely, seen the original video on her. Otherwise, she wouldn't have said it's because of X slurs in the video and used it as some kind of own. So yeah, clearly she does know who Tommy is. Lastly, sending Tommy a response on Twitter even after she blocked him can easily be explained as well, because during this time, Tommy's fans were defending him. I'm sure they probably contacted her via Twitter, and that's how she learned about the situation. Thus, this is why it's not as clear-cut. There is circumstantial evidence at best, and everything can be explained away. This is me giving the big benefit of the doubt here. And I want you, my audience, to decide if you think she had something to do with this or not. I'll, however, add my opinion here. And it's rather simple. I wouldn't put it past her to pull something like this. Though, this is my humble opinion. I am biased here. I am a Tommy C fanboy after all, so I have to wear my bias on my sleeve. But that's where we stand. Is Angelica guilty or innocent? Is it because of her fans, or a YouTube TOS rule change that triggered a bot? Your guess is as good as mine. Anyway, outro time. I'm Captain Poofers, and I will see you lads and chads in the next video.
Mexico.